Yeah, this dash phone really gonna need an upgrade at some point. Because now it's no longer, oh, the mic was different. I gotta turn that down. Oh my god. I'll turn that down then. That should be fine. Maybe it was a little too low. It was from Yoshi's Island DS. Oh, that explains a lot. That explains the loud horns. But yeah. Yeah, so this desk photo definitely needs an upgrade because now my coaster and desk mat has changed since I've last done this. Yeah. Hello everyone. It's me, your burb. Back from vacation. Just overall just like an unexpected week off too. Not this week, but it's like the week before I went for vacay. That was just mainly filled with like getting ready for vacation and then also work having to be busy. Yeah, so work got real busy like before I left, which great. Because that means the week I'm gone, like, I'm just gonna come back to a shit show, which I'd have. My pile is awful. It's like, what is it? It's like a pile of dirty dishes. That's what it is. It's a pile of dirty dishes that needs to be cleaned, but they don't want me to clean it yet, so it's just gonna stink really bad. Until I can fully commit to cleaning up my area. So that's fun. Not really. But I'm managing. Yeah, man. Monday I was mad. Not gonna lie. Because Monday, when I finally walked into work, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have a massive pile at my bench. Just gonna churn through it as best I can and get through it. And then I'm looking through my emails. And then I get an email saying, yeah, well, it was like an email from Thursday. So it's like the Thursday I was still on vacay, but didn't get it because I don't have Outlook on my phone. Don't want to. I don't feel like getting company emails on vacation. Screw that. And he just said, like, yeah, I need you to, like, do test stuff again. I'm like, are you kidding? This is a mess, and I can't take care of it? Are you kidding me? So yeah, that whole morning I was just upset. I'm like, wow. The thing I wanted to do when I got back, I just straight up couldn't. And maybe that's just me being, you know, a little spoiled from vacation, I suppose. Because that was just a whole week of me doing like, hey, I want to do this today. And I did. Whether it be I choose to do nothing, I choose to go to the pool, I choose to go for a walk on the beach, I choose to actually go out and do something. I had a choice in everything, and now it's like, oh boy, I am back under, I'm back under management. I have to obey their rules now. I guess I just kind of. In a way, it's almost just shows how much of a good time I had in vacation. It was so good. I mean, that should be the goal for like any vacation. Just vibe and have a good time. Even if stuff gets bad, just try to find the good and stuff and just vibe. That's all I did. Even when like some things got messy during vacation, in my head I'm just like, okay, this doesn't really relate to me, and I'm just vibing. So I had a great time. But we'll get into that. So it's going to be a lot of bringing up photos and whatnot. So I think I'll actually trick myself a little bit. Just a tad, so that I can, you know, bring chat over here so they're not just like... not just covered up. Okay. So, how this vacation began. I didn't get me right when I left. So my vacay started waking up at 3:30 in the morning to catch our flight. Now I don't have a picture of me at the airport or anything there at the airport. I actually didn't take a picture of anything related to me doing stuff until we got to our layover in Baltimore. Alright, it's a layover in Baltimore, in which case I was presented with a... let's see here. Oh my god, these photos are gonna be massive. Oh my god. Can I just... what kind of properties can I set in this? My default. No. Yeah, I'm gonna have to... yeah, bear with me. Because all these photos were taken from my phone. The resolution on my phone is a lot better than I thought it was. When I was bringing them all onto my PC, I'm like, oh god, my phone looks that good? But anytime I take like a zoomed in picture, it looks like shit. What's up with that? Yeah, that's way too big. What the? What? Oh, what song is this? Oh yeah, it's Sun and Moon. Hell yeah. I'm just like, that sounds familiar. Alright, we're just gonna keep doing this until we get to it. Because I don't quite remember the resolution of it, and we're getting there. You see the straw? Oh, what it was? So I had like a file on this image in particular, and it was the one calling me enabling the term dumb bitch. It's still funny. It's still really funny. Anyway, this thing is off the screen right now. I need to grab it. We're almost there. We're almost there. As soon as I get this image like the size that I want, then we could just work it from there. So yeah, we got to our layover. I eventually just followed my mom to a place where she wants to get coffee. And when I got back to the rest of my group, which was my dad, my sister, and her husband, they got me a Bloody Mary. I got a good old Bloody. And I'm never really a big fan of these drinks in general. I just feel like it's just like the taste of tomato juice, you know? There's just something about that flavor, or just like a V8, that I'm just like, I can't really, like, it's just a taste I can't get over, I suppose. I think it's like when I drink alcohol, like I'm not against fruity alcohol. As a matter of fact, I had a bunch of those on vacay. Anytime I was like, oh, I want to drink but not water, it was either a White Claw or a Simply Lemonade. It's vacation. But I don't know. It's just a tomato juice taste I could never get over. I think it's also because the Bloody Marys I haven't been great. This one was actually kind of okay. This one was fine. And for some reason, my dad and them, they like it. And during all this, my mom was just trying to, I think, get a coffee from someplace at a really long line. I think it was called Einstein Bros. Like this bagel place in the airport. We eventually re-encountered said bagel place when I actually did go to the Outer Banks. Oh yeah, that's right. That's why I went on vacation. I went to the Outer Banks. Oops. Yeah, I went to the Outer Banks. We went there at a big oceanfront home with a lot of family in there. My part of the family decided to take some flights and get a rental car, and everybody else has decided to drive from New York to the Outer Banks, which was like a 10-hour drive, and everyone in my group is just like, we're not doing that. It's way too long. So yeah, I had a Bloody Mary. I actually drank the whole thing because I'm not a bitch. Also, this was at like what? I want to say like 10 a.m. 9 or 10 a.m. I had a Bloody Mary. Yeah, so that's that. And the next time we got on our layover flight, let's see here. I actually got a window seat in the plane, in which I got a Breakfast of Champions. Hey Ben, how you doing? So yeah, the next one actually did get a window seat in the plane, and just looking at the clouds, I'm just like, damn, I need to play Xenoblade 2. I still haven't finished it. It's still not done. I haven't played it in over a year. Man. Also, every plane I got on, when I realized it was a Boeing, I just kind of prayed. Pray that I didn't die. I think what helped a little bit is just kind of, because we always got like a seat that was like behind the wings. So there I can just kind of see like how old the flaps were, and if I saw they were pretty greasy, I'm just like, okay, this is definitely not one of their newer planes. I think I'll live. So yeah, I think actually every plane we got on was like I think every plane we got on I could tell it was like an older and older plane. Because I got on a total of 4 flights, 2 to get there and 2 back. And each plane got older. And then also each flight got rougher. And I'm not sure if it's because of the plane or the times we got the plane. It's just like, oh, we're just going to be really windy today. The state of air travel in 2025 is fucked. Yeah, it's kind of like a carryover until like the dangers of air travel from last year. With all the Boeing stuff not being bueno. I think there's actually a way where you can tell what flight you're gonna take. Like actually I don't remember. Actually I just don't know. I feel like there's the thing where you look at your flight and you could tell if it was a Boeing or an Airbus. I mean, they probably have an app for that, right? I mean, today I learned that there's actually an app for, what is it? It's like, it's an app that tells you the percentage of you crashing on this flight and path. Which I don't know why is an app. Getting that doesn't help, especially as someone who has played gacha games, right? So if I see that, oh, there is a 0.02% chance that you're gonna crash, I look at that and was like, hey, that's almost guaranteed. Oh man, it's so fucked. Why? Who made that app? Anyway. Yeah, this was just a really cool photo of just looking at this cloud sea in general. Yeah. And honestly, when I got to like the window seat again, I never really got as cool of a look as this. The rest was just like, oh look, there's the ground, it real tiny. Oh look, there's bodies of water, yay. Hope we don't crash into the body of water. Alright, what was next? Oh yeah, oh yeah, so then after this flight, got a rental car. It was like I think it was like an hour and a half drive before we actually got to the place. And one of the first things I did in my tired stay is I just kind of looked outside and look at the ocean, and yeah, it was a nice fucking view. Literally just got there, dropped my stuff, found my room, and I'm just like, alright, I'm taking a picture of this. Looking absolutely not ready for that type of weather. Walk out there with a sweatshirt and sweatpants on. Took this photo. And it was great. I looked at that shit and I'm just like, damn. When was the last time I saw the ocean with my eyes? This is nuts. This is crazy. And then I got another one at the top of our home that we stayed at. Just a taller view. There's a little guy over there to the left. I don't think he's actually little. I think I was just a normal sized man. Yeah, it's like our beach house had. Like, this is technically the 4th floor. I'm using big air quotes here. The 4th floor is just like a rooftop, like, balcony. And funnily enough, it was like, compared to the other, like, oceanfront homes, I feel like this was still, like, the tallest view. And this was on, like, one of the older homes, in case you can't tell from the rust from the pool fence. The rust is visible from here. This house was definitely not made with a type of metal that was resistant to salt. Yeah, my uncle just kept talking about that. Because he works on... What does he work? He works on, like, interior stuff. He does a lot of, like, interior, like, home renovating and design. So he knows a lot about, like, oh, the type of material to use for certain homes and yada yada. He's just like, oh yeah, these, they use, like, normal, like, metal for these. You gotta use, like, stainless steel so it doesn't rust as bad, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, well, uncle, I think when they made this house, they didn't have stainless steel. I think this house is too old for widely available stainless steel screws and nails. So I hate to break it to you. So yeah, real good fucking views. And what happened after that? So this is all still day 1. And afterwards we went to a place called Jolly Roger. And I was thinking it was like a pirate-themed restaurant. And when I walked in there, it was bizarre. Actually, before we went to Jolly Roger, we went to get some groceries. Twitch hates my 5G connection to be on the objectively worst experience. Oh no. So how you doing, Bugs? Yeah, everything's kind of dying. Blue Sky died. 5G is melting towers, I think, causing radiation. Yeah, baby. Hope you've been doing well. I was gone for 2.5 weeks. First week I just got busy, and next week, and then the week after I went on vacay. It was great. Now I'm just gonna go over about the photos I remember to take. So yeah, after we got here, I was like, okay, we need groceries. So we went ahead and got some groceries. We went to a place called Publix, which I think the New York equivalent to that is like a Tops? Tops or Aldi's? I think more so Tops. And yeah, going there, it was strange. Like, there was a lot of culture shock going from New York to North Carolina for a week. Even at just the Publix, right? So first of all, the parking there was a little odd. Because in New York, I'm pretty sure we just use, like, asphalt for everything. Meanwhile, for this place, it was like a combination of asphalt, concrete, and then like a type of pattern for some of the walkways. Which I'm just like, damn, this is a high effort parking lot. Second of all, you only need to have one license plate per vehicle in North Carolina. New York, you do need 2. So for some cars there, like sometimes they would just have 2, or they just would only have 1, or they would have a second one that's just like special. I'll go over one that I saw later when I get to a different photo. Finished the second game of the Project Moon series, and the climax also almost made me shed a tear in the lyrics of the credit song after the actual final boss hit like a train. Ooh. Oh, isn't that like the labyrinth or the I don't know. For some reason you talk about that RPG, I just think of like a book. I could be totally wrong. I don't remember. Library of Ruina. There we go. See, I knew it involved a book. Turns out it was a whole ass house of books. So yeah. Going to the Publix. So yeah, Culture Shock 1 was the parking lot. Culture Shock 2 was the car. Culture Shock 3, they had cinnamon roll Pop-Tarts. And for some reason, now, as a kid, I grew up with cinnamon roll Pop-Tarts. Though that shit banged. It was like second to me having strawberry. So usually my Pop-Tart blunt rotation was strawberry, cinnamon roll, and raspberry. And it was after the it was during the pandemic. New York just decided, okay, we aren't selling cinnamon roll Pop-Tarts anymore. And I found that odd. It's like, okay, out of all flavors, why? I didn't know they're just like a state could just like ban Pop-Tart flavors. It's like, what's up with that? So of course, when I saw that at Publix, I'm just like, okay, I gotta snag me a box of these things. First of all, they look different. When I had it, the icing was almost like a swirl pattern, and this one was just like, okay, the whole thing is just iced, and the tart itself was more cinnamony, and it tasted great. Arguably, it was an improvement over the flavor I grew up with, and they fucking banned it from New York. So now I need a petition. I need a petition to get my boy cinnamon roll back. That's what I learned. If it's not holding up so far in gameplay or writing, but its writing is still exceedingly good, that's good to hear. Rare Pop-Tart TCG pool. I know. So now I wonder if other states have banned Pop-Tart flavors that New York still has, or any other state for that matter. Oh, speaking of the other side matter, Culture Shock number 4, they don't recycle in North Carolina. When we were there, we had 6 totes, all for trash, none for recycling. And I'm just like, wow. So I've been conditioned to be like, okay, you have an aluminum can, you got a plastic bottle, plastic wrap, plastic box, plastic whatever. They go in the blue bin. There is no such thing as a blue bin in North Carolina. Oh yeah, Culture Shock number 5. Plastic bags at grocery stores. In New York, you cannot do that. You either get paper bags or you gotta bring like a vinyl bag. I mean, at Tops you can buy like a roll of like plastic grocery bags, but like they're just like, hey, if you're just shopping regularly, you gotta get the brown bag or bring your vinyl bag, bucko. That was fun. So yeah, after our grocery set, then we went to Jolly Roger. It was shockingly, it was a pirate-themed restaurant that had barely any pirate shit in it. At least in the places we went to. Like, we walked in there, And after being like, hey, we have a party of like 10 plus, which is a lot. And to wait to the left of it was just like a souvenir store, which was mostly Christmas stuff. We're in like mid-April. Seen places where you pay per plastic bag, which is the strangest in between. Yeah, it's a little odd. I mean, some places I think you pay for like certain brown bags. They do that in New York too. They really try to petty pinch you here. So yeah, the souvenir store just had a bunch of Christmas stuff. And this was a routine thing in the Outer Banks. Is if there was a souvenir shop, there's a good chance that Santa will appear. It'll be like almost like a vacation Santa. Like he never had the proper red attire. It was always just him, like he was on vacation too. As a matter of fact, I think it was like the next day or like the day after. The group I was with drove past just like an all-season Christmas store. And I wonder if that's just like a Southern thing. Just like year-round Christmas decorations or Santa-related stuff. It was so weird. So yeah, just look at the souvenir store and just like, okay, this makes no sense. Walked to our place. Funnily enough, there was like technically a table for two place, but it was just like normal chair, and the next one was like a chair you could sit in, but it almost looked like a Grim Reaper like decoration. So if you really went there alone, you could just kind of have like a date with death, like quite literally, and just like order whatever. So we finally sit down, and the menu was like a mix of. There's a lot of Italian food on that menu, which shocked me. And just like, okay, when I think pirates, I don't think like, oh, like Italian cuisine. That was odd. And then it was like a mix of like some barbecue stuff and obviously fish. There's obviously quite a bit of fish. We are by the ocean, so you know. I did have fish at one of the places. And I got like an Italian dish kind of because I just figured like ain't no way this shit's good. And it was shockingly good. It was surprisingly good Italian at a place where I didn't think Italian food could exist. Are we fried tilapia fans in here? I mean, tilapia is fine. I mean, tilapia is like a very palatable fish. One of the places I went to, I just got just like fish and chips. And the fish was cod, which is another fairly palatable fish. Soon to be exclusively a seafood place. I didn't think that would be the case. I think because it is oceanfront, they're gonna lean more into seafood. But I think in general, Americans don't have a great fish palate. So I think if a vacation spot had only seafood, you're gonna have some very starving tourists, or like McDonald's or Five Guys are gonna get flooded. Oh, culture shock number 6. There's a lot of Sonics. I think Sonics is more of a popular place down south. Because I think where I live, I think the nearest Sonic for me is like, I want to say 45 minutes away from, not 45, like 35 minutes away from here. And yet when we got to like the main like bigger town in North Carolina, there's like two Sonics, there's like two Sonics, and in between them might have been like 5 to 10 minutes from each other. Don't like any seafood, unfortunately. Well, there was a lot of places that you could definitely live without seafood. Love going to places that specialize in anything but normal American food and ordering a burger just to see how well they make it. True. That's actually why I had the Italian food at that one place, because I'm just like, ain't no way Italian food's good here. And then, you know, got a thing with like big ass meatballs and sausage and some pasta. And I'm just like, oh, I don't know who's back there, but they know how to do stuff with Italian food. That's crazy. There was a place that had chicken wings, and I did not bother. Because I'm just like, okay, I know for certain you do not make better chicken wings than people in New York. So I'm just like, not even gonna try. But yeah, when I was down there, I always tried to get something new or get someplace local. Alright. So let's go through some more photos. What did I do next? So the next day, so we got there Sunday. So then it was Monday, and I didn't do much other than like chill out in the pool. And we definitely went somewhere. Well, I went to a restaurant. That's where I got my fish and chips. That was nice. What else? Just kind of looking through my photo series to see if anything of interest. Okay. So nothing happened Monday, but Tuesday, that's where I did like a lot of traveling. Usually I go to someone actually eat something big at the restaurant. Yeah. As long as it's not Sonic 06. No, like Sonic, like the place you eat at, like the Nom Noms, like the drive-thru with the skates and the yada yada, and those two autistic men that went there to drive-thru. They're really... Do they even do those commercials anymore? It was like the two, like, dumb guys. They're just saying whatever, and they're just like, oh, but the Sonic shake's really good, though. Or something like that. Now has Sonic in at least 4 years. I wonder how it tastes. I haven't had Sonic in 28 years, so I have no idea how it tastes. It's probably alright. The KFC in like 7. I think KFC for me is like over 10. The last time I had KFC is when when one of my high school friends worked at one. He doesn't work there anymore, so I've had no desire to go into a KFC ever again. So yeah, Tuesday, that's when I went to the aquarium there in North Carolina. So when I first got there, this is where the license plate thing came in. Because I saw someone where the front of their license plate was just a Let's Go Yankee license plate. And all I could think of is, God damn it. I thought I could avoid him from here. No! Son of a bitch. Been to a Sonic once. I got a banana milkshake. It was really good. That's one thing I didn't go. I never went to a Wawa. We drove past the Wawas, but we never went into a Wawa because at the end of the day, it's just gas station food, right? I think like the appeal of a Wawa is like, oh, this gas station food does not taste like ass. It will not give me the shits. This is great, but it's still gas station food, so like you could do better. Oh, speaking of gas station food, the place that I never went into, but I really wish I should, was a place called Biscuits and Porn. Unfortunately, porn was not served there, but you could go there, get like biscuits and chicken, and get yourself a can of pussy. Pussy being an energy drink, by the way. And you could also get gas there. It is probably the most southern thing I saw, was biscuits and porn. What? Look it up. Look up Biscuits and Porn, North Carolina. I am not shitting you. It's a real place. And I never went into it. I really should have. The way you're supposed to make fun of is he goes to KFC. That's what I'm saying. The pornography is breach defenses. Oh man, I really should have gone to Biscuits and Porns. Fuck me. Anyway, I went to an aquarium and I was greeted by this big ass pufferfish. The angles are gonna be a bit weird because I was reflecting off the glass. Of course, it's an aquarium. But yeah, this is a big boy. He's such a large lad. This pufferfish was. My God. I thought pufferfish would always be like a little bit more ball shaped, but I think it's just when they're like aggravated. This aquarium have one of those shark tunnels. It did not. It wasn't a very big aquarium, but there is one cool thing about it that I'll get into. So, because it is an ocean front aquarium, they tend to get a lot of stuff with sea turtles. So, near a section, they just had a sea turtle like rescue center. So you can like see all the ones that, you know, they're recovering from either being beat up or whatever, getting like barnacles off them or whatnot. It was like a sea turtle rehabilitation center, which I thought was very nice. And in there, they had a sea turtle, which I couldn't get a great photo of, but he was a big boy. It was a 200-pound sea turtle and with a fat fucking head. This dude was a unit. Like, the tank could barely fit this guy. Yeah. I unfortunately could not get a great photo of him. This is like the best one I could get. But trust me when I say that this guy is big. Kaiki, those aquarium tunnel tanks are an underrated wedding spot. You know what? You're kind of right. Bro, getting married while like sharks are circling around you, that's badass. Yeah, so there's that guy. They all each had names, and eventually when they're healthy enough, they release back into the wild, of course. But yeah, I can't say I have been into an aquarium where they do that, which is very cool. Yeah, we're kind of skipping around. So before I went into that area, I was taking a picture of a turtle that was like that was mean mugging the fuck out of me. He looks so mad. Oh man. I think out of all the photos I took on vacation, this one still cracks me up. Just the old ass man mean mugging the shit out of the future generation. Just go away. Oh man. Only the most metal yet beautiful setting for my future partner. Yo, let's get married to the aquarium. They probably do that. There's definitely got to be some aquariums where it's like, yeah, you can get married here. Just don't tap on the glass. They'll get pissed. The turtle's blowing up your penis with its mind powers. I mean, this turtle's probably blowing up its own penis. Bro, the way turtles actually, like, get action is nuts. Like, they just get on top of each other, and the male just decides to expand dong to the point where it, like, gets out of the shell, and then they do their business. Nature's freaky. I only bring this up because we went on like one of those nature trails like you can do by car, and one of the highlights was seeing two turtles bang on like a small river. That was the highlight of that venture. Alright, so after the mean bug turtle, so after we got out of the sea turtle rehabilitation thing, I learned of a type of sea turtle I didn't know about, which is a white loggerhead. It's like an albino sea turtle, and it looked adorable. I love this thing. This thing's so cute. There's one turtle that goes so crazy that it had 500 babies and took its species out of the endangered mark. Hey man, he understood the objective. He's like, my species is gonna be extinct. I'll do it myself. But yeah, did not know there's just like an all-white sea turtle. And when we got towards the end, I did notice that there was a plush of this thing. But I was just like, no. It's really cute, but I don't need it. But now but because I'm still thinking about this turtle, I probably really should have grabbed that plush. But it was like in the kids section. I'm just like, well, I don't have a fucking kid. I can't say I have a kid. I'm lonely as shit. They won't believe me. They'll see through my lies. My white loggerhead turtle lies. What else? They went to like this like dark light area. That has some pretty cool fish. Found a lion head. Not a lion head, a lionfish. I think lion doesn't even beer. Oops. Yeah, really creepy boy. Well, they're not creepy. They're just very. It's a very detailed fish, and also all the spurs on it are poisonous, of course. But yeah, it's just got a picture of a lionfish. The one I want to show off might be a little bit hard to see is this guy. Now, I didn't look up the species of this fish. I just have a file just called like hidden flat fuck because that's exactly what it is. This thing, this thing camouflage is really good. Humans were making the effort, so I will show them what repopulating really looks like. Yeah, Turtle saw a video of a bunny doing it, and he's just like, I could do that. I have years of experience. This mammal ain't got shit. Actually, are bunnies mammals? I know they're a rodent. Do they get preggers? I think they get preggers. Anyway. But yeah, really flat guy. Really flat guy. And speaking of flat fucks, this was an aquarium where they had a section where you could pet the stingrays, and I did. They're very slimy boys, and I took a picture of one trying to hide in sand like an idiot. Although he did look pretty cozy though. That was a pretty comfy manta ray right there. And in that same room they have one of like hermit crabs. Couldn't get a great photo of it, so. Glad I didn't get Steve Irwin. Yeah. I mean that. I think that even though that manta ray did kill like the last person it should kill, not all manta rays are bad. I mean these ones also weren't as big as the one that probably did get Steve, but they're not all bad. They're chill. They're chill for the most part. I mean they should be chill. They're letting people just like touch them, right? One time the nearest aquarium to me forgot to take the stinger off one of their stingrays, and I saw a kid's arm tank it. It did not tank it well. Ooh. I hope that kid was fine. Maybe not okay, but fine. They made it. Man, being like an amputated kid, it is like, yeah, last sister of a stingray. Alright, what other photos we got in here? I tried to get a picture of a shark. It did not work well, but I did try to get a picture of this big fish that I thought was dying because this dude did not move for like a solid minute. Yeah, just a big fish. It's a pretty large lad. And then my shark photos weren't too great. I don't know what this species of shark is. It's like the smaller ones that you see in like a lot of aquariums. I could not tell you the name of this thing. Yeah, I think that he was just chilling. Yeah, I think the fish was just... He was just big chilling. But at the same time, looking, I'm like, bro, are you okay? Don't go belly up at an aquarium, please. There's kids here. And the actual prize in this whole tank is this guy. This was a fat boy. I think this was a sand shark. Fish just do that sometimes. Yeah, they do. They're just kind of like little dumb creatures. Yeah, I believe this was a sand shark. There was only one of them in there. He was obviously like the king there. He was the fat fuck. Oh yeah, in this, I think they just had like a little shipwreckage that they put in the aquarium, which was a nice touch. I don't think it was a fake prop. I mean, it could have been. It looked pretty real. I think they just straight up unearthed this thing, barnacles and all, and they're just like, hey, this would look great in our aquarium. So they did. So yeah, that was that aquarium. I have other photos of fish, but I don't think they were nearly as interesting. Then after that, after the aquarium, with the group I was with, it was with a lot of cousins and like in-laws, and when we wanted to have a lunch, the decision was to either go to Jersey Mike's, which I'm just like, okay, that's a chain, and right next to it was a place called El Shaddai Chicken, which was like a Mexican, like Peruvian, like chicken place. And let me tell you, I got like, what are their things? And this was probably the best thing I ate there. All the chicken they served was rotisserie style. The one I got was charcoal. And it came with like this jasmine rice, this type of potato that's not actually potato, but is related to potatoes. Then I had like this fried banana thing that wasn't actually banana, but comes from the same banana thing. And all this slapped. All this food is fantastic. And I knew it would be good because as soon as we walked in there and we saw the workers, I'm like, oh, they're all either Mexican or Peruvian. They probably know what they're doing here. And yeah, this spoiled what we're going to have for dinner, which was just tacos because... I mean, there's a bunch of white people in that house, so of course we had to engage into the whitest day of the week, which is Taco Tuesday. Yeah, this was fantastic. God. And then they also had like these types of fruit drinks. No, excuse me. That were also just like done differently. This was also good. I gotta ask. Because one of my in-laws is Hispanic, and he was the one telling me to get some of these other foods. He's like, oh yeah, when we get back home, I gotta show you some places. Sorry for the fact that you had to go to white person tacos. Yeah, white person tacos, Chipotle, Moe's, Taco Bell. I mean, they're still good. I mean, tacos are like pizza. When it's good, it's good. And when they're bad, they're still kind of good. Come on. But yeah, this place banged. And then, what else? What else? Oh yeah, then later we went into our nature walk. We tried to go through this gator, like, national park, but we were driving there for, like, an hour. And it was only when we got back home where we realized, oh, wait, I think we went the wrong way to find gators. Which is why all we saw was this, like, turtles banging each other, and that's about it. God, so that was a mistake. Been spoiled by this area in which I live. Either your taco's amazing or it's disappointing. Yeah, I forgot. Nah, don't say where you live. That'd be weird. Yeah, that was that El Shaddai chicken. Fucking banged. And then later we went to the Roanoke stuff. It was pretty interesting. I mean, based on the Roanoke colony, the first, established colony in, North America, that after a few years, everyone just kind of disappeared. So we got to the site, and there's like this, like, structure here. So with this area, I mean, when people rediscovered this place, it did not look like this. They kind of like restored it to what it probably looked like when people like made it. Although the area was actually like pretty small. Like it definitely wasn't where the Roanoke colony was built, but it definitely did look like a man-made excavating, I think. So it's kind of seeing this structure like revived was pretty cool. And then later, like down that same way, this is what I didn't take a picture of. It was like an outdoor theater to where they had like a dramatic reenactment of like the Roanoke colony situation, what probably happened to them. And it was famous enough to a point where I believed FDR actually went there to view one of the live showings, which I found pretty cool. I like FDR, one of my favorite presidents. Somewhere not in the map, chances of you finding someone who only speaks Spanish is like 40%. 40% per individual, about 40 minutes from the border. We have more local business and chain business. Ooh. That's some good shit. I mean, I thought you said you were like from like Texas, I think? Texas or what's the other ones that are on the border? Come on, like New Mexico, Arizona, I think. I'm trying to remember geography here. Those dudes make some good ass Mexican because they're real ass Mexicans. Exactly. Which is why when I went to El Shaddai Chica and I saw them, I'm like, oh my god, they're the real deal. This shit's gonna slap. Omega South Texas. Yeah. I think I remember you saying Texas at some point. Anyway. So yeah, there's like this restored stuff. And then they had like a bunch of like tools in there. I think this was like a jar they used for like apothecary stuff, which is interesting because I didn't know that for stuff. I think apothecary is for like medicine, right? I didn't think they would actually like try to like put a pattern in it, which I found pretty fascinating. There's another one. Here's one of like some more tools. It looks like this stuff, like little gold like cups, almost look like for measuring. And then the big thing on the right was like a flask. It was a big flask. I believe it was made from wood. I'm trying to recall. Man, I believe it was wood. Despite this, I lack the country accent because I'm chronically watching stuff. Yeah, you're gonna chronically get my non-accent, also known as an upstate New York accent. You're welcome, by the way. Or maybe we could just be like, well, I don't have a southern accent because I don't want to sound dumb. Actually, that's not true. I like people with southern accents. They sound so friendly. Oh yeah, that was culture shock number 7. I'm not keeping count. Southern hospitality. All the servers I had when I was down there were great. Man or woman. They treated me right. It was nice. Well, they didn't just treat me right. They treated us nice. Oh yeah, I forgot the NFL draft was happening today. Anyway, that's football. I had one more Roanoke photo, and I just did this because I'm just like, damn, they made a bucket out of a tree log. That's sick. Come down to the super small town where the waiters are actually cooking the restaurant on their bags. I think those are just called like food stands or food trucks. Yeah, the closest we get to that is just like those wheelable like grill things where they serve like hot dogs and burgers. Well, last year near the place where I worked, there actually was like an older like couple or group of people that just wheeled it out to like an empty parking lot, and I did do my best to try to go out there and get some of their stuff, just for support, and also the food there was pretty decent. Also, of course, I think I got one of those cards where it's just like, hey, after like your 7th purchase, like the next one's free, and I'm just like, fuck yeah, give you that shit. It's probably my favorite thing. Just grabbing one of those cards, and it's just like, hey, after set amount of purchases, the next one's free, and it's like, oh, thanks, dude. I can keep this cycle going forever. Yeah, that was Roanoke. There actually were a few more things about Roanoke I didn't know. I always thought it was just the colony, the last colony thing, but it was actually around like during the Civil War where the Roanoke Island was kind of turned into like a makeshift colony for people, for like slave escaping through the Underground Railroad, which I had no idea, and I found that very fascinating. And also, another thing on Roanoke Island was, I forget his name, but I believe that was like the first instance of like air transmitted like audio wave, so basically radio. That first happened also on Roanoke Island, which was also really cool. Roanoke refused to die. It's a very interesting history. Yeah, Roanoke Island got so much cooler when I went here. Shocker. I went to a building that just glazed how great Roanoke was, and I came out being a Roanoke glazer. And of course, because the colony, knowledge is a magical thing, isn't it? Yeah, that's why I love history so much. You just go there, you learn some shit, and like, damn, that's cool. Love that. What else? Oh yeah, also in that building, just kind of talked about like theories about like what happened to them. Like, you know, the local tribes just killed them because there were instances to where the colonists did accidentally kill people from tribes that were good with them and tribes that weren't good with them. So it's like, ooh, we kind of pissed off both of them. That's no bueno. So thinking maybe that happened. You know, colonists just kind of assimilating into the tribes. Another one was just like weather. Like I think that maybe a hurricane went through that colony and just kind of blew them the fuck up. Could have happened. Oh, I think there's another thing where they believe, like, there was records of the colonists like living in like a fort structure, and then when they made an expedition back to the Roanoke colony like 2 years later, they could not find it. Which, if it was a fort, I don't think it would go missing. What happened to that fort? Or maybe the colonists were just like, yeah, we made a fort. It'll be so easy to find. Meanwhile, it's just like, oh, we just have like tents and twigs. We don't know how to build a fort. Why did they bring us? Anyway, what else did he do there in the Outer Banks? I'm just trying to recall like a series of events. I think the next thing we did was I think we just went to like, yeah, I went to a place called Jeanette Pier, which is like one of the bigger piers, like down where we were. You got some really good views. I say the thing that surprised me the most, that the further we got out, the water got like way more green. It was like a really nice sea green color, and I'm just like, damn. Ocean water looks so nice, but it tastes so shitty. Because it's so damn salty. Learning why ocean water is salty, I cannot escape it. So, you know, we all know about Nessie, right? Lock the sponsor, big fan. Actually need to like get up a picture of Nessie here. Oh, what's a good photo of it? That one? No. This one? Oh, it's a little bit better. Okay. This is like impromptu because I feel like it's kind of necessary. Alright. Let's see here. Yeah, Nessie. I need this to explain why I think it's salty. Also, I think recently someone believes that they did see Nessie again. So they're like initiating another search for it. It'll be in this like this time, I swear. There's so many United States cryptids that are just Nessie ripoffs that it's comical. Yeah, there really is. I learned about a lot of these from a channel called Escarjo, where one of their first videos was going over like a bunch of like lake monster cryptids. Shocker, a lot of them are Nessie related. Well, I think one of them was like a dragon. And some other shit. There are some cool ones I don't know about. Anyway, let's pull up. It's like hunting Bigfoot. I despise beaches so much. I mean, I think beaches are fine. I like ocean beaches because there's sands. Beaches here in New York, which are just lakes, are just fucking rocks. So I like ocean beaches. So anyway, yeah, we have Nessie here, right? And the ocean is soup. So I saw a thing with this picture of Nessie as to like, oh, what it could be. Like, oh, it's like a type of fish that just kind of looked weird, or someone had like a little fucking toy in there, yada yada. The one that someone mentioned that I'm starting to believe more and more is like, they think that Nessie, like this, looks more like the tip of a whale penis. Now, I will not put a picture of a whale penis on screen. You can go ahead and Google that yourself. But it does make a lot of sense, just for how fucking alien it looks and odd. And upon finding something related to whale penis, there's a meme for it that was just like, hey, Uh, when when whales ejaculate, they do it by the gallons. So that's why the ocean is salty. You're kind of right. There's a lot of whales. That's a lot of semen. So maybe, just maybe, that's why the ocean's salty. Someone who has access to several ocean beaches in an hour driving, I could say I hate beaches. Nessie just a schlong? It might just be a big old schlong that people didn't know, like, oh wait, a whale can have that? Ew. No one believed a whale could have that back when that photo was taken. The person's cooking, but what is a whale doing upside down and hard? I don't know, it was like flipping over or whatnot. Like, maybe he just needed to, like, air out his wiener, you know? Let's get a little stuffy down there in the water. No! Oh, man. Yeah, I'm looking at I mean, now I'm looking at a picture of whale penis. And I'm just like, yeah. Perhaps. Just maybe, just maybe. No more nutting to the ocean. The upper world gets it now. Yeah. Yeah, whale, stop coming in the water. It's my turn. Oh, I should have totally done that. Just like late at night, go ahead and just go ahead and yank it into the ocean. Big, be free, my seed. I hope you make it to the other side. Oh man. Okay, so this was not a. I did not take this picture of North Carolina, by the way. This was just a funny photo. Yeah, I think with that day we just went to the pier, and I think that was kind of about it. After that, I just kind of chilled. But what I really wanted to do was get a picture, like, underneath that pier, because I thought it would look really cool. Never got an opportunity to do so. But, like, kind of close to where we live. It was like a 20-minute walk. There was another pier that I could, like, take a picture under, so I did that. But that morning, I woke up, like, pretty early. I don't know why, but the longer I was there, the earlier I woke up. I think it was just because I just gave myself a lot of alcohol. That was just really eepy. So wait, that was a picture of a nice sunrise I got. That was, I think I took that one Friday. It was like the day before we left. Why would you go in for the fish dog that got it off already? I mean, could they tell the difference between whale semen and mine? Could fish do that? Also, why is a whale in a lake? True. I mean, it doesn't have to be like a big whale. I guess whales are just big. I don't know. Well, I guess it's hard to tell, because if there was a whale in there, I don't know if they ever recorded, like, a whale beaching. Because if that was the biggest thing in that water, I doubt anything would, like, kill it. And if it did die, it would have just been, like, wash ashore. Because when they die, they just become, like, big balloons. Semen for different creatures is different. Right. Yeah, because mine tastes fruity. I've checked. So yeah, this was a picture of a sunrise. I couldn't quite get it from, like, the waves because I didn't wake up early enough on accident, I suppose. But later I did go ahead and take a picture underneath the pier just because I think it would make for a cool photo. It kind of was. Just seeing all the wood from the sand go ahead and make its way down. I thought it would be a cool shot. And I also went ahead and got a little bit closer. Oh man, it would have been good if I got a picture of the other pier because it was much bigger. A lot wider, a lot longer. Anyway, I liked it. It was also an excuse to to like go out and walk on the beach again, because I did it like a couple days before, and what turned into just like a walk also turned to be just like getting a bunch of seashells. I made a collection because I'd be fucked if I go to a place to like buy seashells. I'll just get my own. Fuck you. I did find some cool ones. I think one of them did just straight up look like a top of an oyster. Like, it looked very oyster shaped. Yeah, later that day though, where I was, we were actually in pretty close proximity to the Wright Brothers, like, Memorial National Park thing. And that was pretty damn cool. Fun fact, the fruit fly has the largest individual sperm cells. Bonus fact, the cell size gets smaller or larger on a negative correlation to the size of the creature. Damn, fruit flies. I mean, today I learned that that flies or just bugs could have semen. That's crazy. Well, I guess you go. I guess we aren't so different after all, you and I. Oh shit. So I went to the Wright Brothers Museum, and we were, as soon as we walked into like the main building I was greeted with this photo. I could have swore the first flight took place off a hill, but it didn't. It instead took place on this little metal runway before it had enough propulsion to get itself off the ground. Sorry about that. So whale spewing out gallons are like 16 quintillion children. Hey man, when you're doing your business in the water, that just kind of goes everywhere. They can't help it. They can't help the area they were born in. Yeah, I also had to like open up a window because I got weather's just crazy. It was even like dumb in North Carolina too. So like when we were there, it was like the first day was like I think like mid 50s to 60s. Then it got to the 70s, like and well into the 70s. And then it dropped back down to high 50s, low 60s. And the day we left, it was like 70s. But when I got back into New York, it was also 70. And the next day it dropped down to 50. So, I'm not sure how well you can tell with my voice, but I have just been stuffy the last few weeks. Because the temperature cannot make up its goddamn mind. It is not great. Now, it's not like I'm They always have to like blow my nose. I just in general just sound stuffy. I can't help it. So yeah, for the Wright Brothers thing, I had no idea that they just proposed off this little rail thing. And a very flat area that is all sand. Kind of makes the flight thing more impressive. Because it simulates like how we fly now. Just like a long runway before you build up enough speed so you can take off. Whether there has been greeds, I can forward to goddamn the sun. But the plants are slowly dying here, so the heat I'm getting free from my allergies. Yeah, fuck you, pollen. Yes, there's that. What was next? And then also this had some other stuff. Like this one. It was actually a bunch of other inventors also trying to figure out how to fly. They all had their own concepts, as you can clearly see. Very cool stuff. Some even built like their own goddamn runway. There's like paragliders. Someone tried to make the fucking bat suit. This guy was insane. Look at this dude. Oh man. Yeah, inspiration birds. There was quite a few books of just like notes and details studying just like how birds fly and the way their wings moved. Which for like late 1800s or early 1900s, pretty impressive like how much detail they went into how birds moved. Before we, before like slow-mo cameras and whatnot. They had to study in the old-fashioned way. The closest we ever were to have Where the Bad Piggies was a bunch of original concepts for flight. What? So there's that. So then they had the glider, which was before they made their first plane, and this is the one that I think we think of when they went off that big hill. That was the actual glider. There wasn't like any engine or whatever. It was just a big ass glider to, move themselves up and down. What else? Oh, also probably the coolest thing there was this thing. Now, since they couldn't control the weather for how things were gonna fly, the Wright brothers went ahead and designed and developed their own wind tunnel to make this thing work. Like there they could study like the effects of like wind speed and drag for the types of like models and prototypes they were making, which was fascinating. I did not know about this. This was awesome. They obviously didn't demonstrate it, but they had the damn thing though. Back in Yedo is a very, very old. Actually, the first automaton was a bird, so you understood it had to been there for a while. Yeah. They had to look at birds and be like, how the fuck to do that? To the point where in the museum, they just had like a timeline of flight, and it started with the laughing gull. Before eventually they got to what the Wright brother did. And in there, they even like showed footage of they had like short clips of the Wright brothers demonstrating their plane across the world. They had footage of them like in New York City. There's like a shot of them going past like the Statue of Liberty, of course. There's another one where I believe they demonstrated it all the way in France, which is really cool. I think they did that like in 1908. They just kind of demonstrate like, hey, look what we can do. And eventually turned into, hey, what if we like made this thing out of metal and gave it a better engine? And that's how we got air combat in World War One. Record was a very simple, did that move, but it was able to glide just like a bird and source in the Times Isaac Doom. People were actually shocked. Yeah, that's pretty much what all these inventors are doing. It's like, hey, okay, what if we did like flight but like on a much larger scale? They also had like diagrams of just like how the glider would like kind of like bend like a bird's wing does without it like breaking, of course. Very cool stuff. Alright, what other photos did I got there? Oh, fun fact, when I was in this building, at some point I tried to take a picture of something and it just straight up said like, hey, due to security, you cannot take this photo. I still did, but for my own safety, and so the government will get me, I will not post that photo. Oh man, it was weird too because other people are taking photos of like what I was, and they're probably not gonna get in trouble. So why did my phone do that? Yeah. And then in the building, they just had a replica of the plane itself. Very, very, very big. You had the whole damn thing, the propellers, the engine that was on the right, the pilot goes on the left. There's even a stick for like veering it. Oh, another thing I totally forgot to mention. Also in the part where they had all that stuff, the Wright brothers, before they could do like big like research into their flight stuff, they realized, hey, a good way to probably pilot a plane is with like using what bikes do, because bikes were on the rage nowadays and they had the handlebars, how you could veer left and right using your weight and whatever. So they would just maintain a bike shop, learning better and making better bikes, and they use that knowledge to build the plane, which again, crazy. It's nuts. DM it to me? No. I might just delete it so the government doesn't get me. And then also around this replica, they had like actual parts from the plane. I know the light is destroying this glass tube, but that was one of the original propellers. And the other parts, I think they had like the original canvas, the original engine, which had missing parts, but they filled it in with like plastic to what it was supposed to look like. 30 on 30. Gotta get me a new bike. Man, I haven't had a bike in 10 years. I don't know if I like how often I would bike though. I think, I don't know. Like I would say, oh, if I live closer to where I work, I would bike there. But I don't know, if I wake up, I'm like, do I really want to bike there? I'll just drive. Fuck being active. Yeah, play was really cool. What else? What else there? They had this. This rock just was basically a marker for where they took off. I think that's also the original like rail they used below the rock. If you're gonna bike, you're gonna get an electric one. I think I would still get like a pedal one. So you don't have a car. Oh. There actually was a person I worked with that didn't have a car, but just... Well, he didn't have an electric bike. What he did is that he modified a normal bike with an engine. So it was a motorized bike without it being a motorcycle. So he didn't get a license to drive it. It was one of the dumbest, smartest things I saw. We had this rock marked where they first took off with the plane, and then like to the right of it, they had like other stone markers for like how far they went. The first three were pretty close to each other, but it was like the fourth one where they actually got like some pretty good distance, and they're in the air for almost a minute. Europeans can be fascist anarchists. For all I care, so would it change the fact that I don't have a car? I mean, you can get cars that aren't made in Europe. Although low key, I do want to get a Toyota at some point. Just like a nice Toyota car. That would last me a decade easy. I mean, I drive like a Malibu right now, and it's a pretty good... I mean, it's the first car I've owned. And I think it's a pretty decent vehicle. I just wonder how long it'll last before shit starts going wrong. There's like pedal assisted bikes now. Oh, that's a quote. I don't know what that quote's from. There's like pedal assisted electric bikes now. Oh, was it like oh, this electric bike is powered through you pedaling it like you're a hamster. Is it one of those types of bikes? Yeah. So, then past this, well, not past this rock, to like the left of the rock, there was a walkway to, get to that thing. And that obelisk there was, that's where like the glider took off. And I'd say probably the most fascinating thing about this whole place is that this all just used to be sand. Like, what if I go back to the original Wright Brothers photo? Like, this thing was all sand. And then, like a little over 100 years later, now it's just all grass. Well, it's not quite grass. It's more just like vegetation, and they told you not to be on the grass because there's pear cactus. So I just, you know, I didn't want to test it. I was in sandals because it was vacation, so I didn't tempt the grass. Oh, I was from Ferris Bueller's Day Off? Did Ferris actually say that? Because for most of the film, they just use like his friend's dad's car. The dirt done colonized the sandhill. No, this is all just still sand. Who was it with? Yeah, oh yeah, so the people I was with for this trip was like my dad and my sister's husband, who was a history teacher. And I believe he saw a thing to where like I think like he said like a hurricane went through here, so eventually like this area just kind of started to grow vegetation. Which is weird because like a couple miles like past the memorial is like the sand dune like national park. So it's like, okay, how come this sand dune gets the vegetation and yet later down there in like the same damn area, that sand dune can't grow anything? It's just sand. How the fuck does that work? Yeah, he did in the first 5 minutes, right. Oh, I was probably... Oh, that was one of those, like, oh, I'm staring at the camera, tee-hee. I think I remember now. I haven't seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off in a while. Like, last time I saw it was when I was in college, so I was like... It was like my freshman or sophomore year, so that was... like 98 years ago? Fuck. Sand racism. Hey, come on, sand. Get along with dirt. You're all just you're both are just finely crushed sediments. Come on. Watched quite a bit. I love that movie. No, Ferris Bueller's great. Great film. At the end of it, where Ferris just comes out and he's like, "Wait, you guys are still here? What are you doing? Go home." So good. Joke about the color of sand, the color of dirt here. They're both shades of brown. Yeah, rocks are rocks. Yeah. So yeah, I didn't just like stare at it. We did go up to like the whole thing. It was a thing you could walk into just to kind of give you more of a like. There's like some. There's some words in there. There also were steps to, I think, get to the top of this thing, but that they would not let the public go up it. I think it was just for staff. Although, I believe the top of that was a light, because I think this obelisk is, like, tall enough to warn planes. Oh yeah, that park also just had, like, a little airstrip for people to just, like, you know, take off from. Yeah, when we were there was a plane that just took off from that site, so that was kind of fun to see. It's a working airstrip, hooray! Jump off it, the flight bros will bless your name. Maybe next time. Next time I'll bring a glider. And I will do what the Wright brothers did all that time ago and engage in flight. I would 100% not cause a scene, I swear. And from there, they kind of had like a small like reenactment of like the moments the plane first took flight. We did not walk down there. After walking up the hill, we're just like, fuck this, we aren't going over there. So I took a long photo. This place probably looked a lot cooler up close, but wanted to get it at least. And from where we were, that's the building off to the distance had all the other cool stuff in there. You can kind of see the rock where they first took flight. It's like right there, that little gray thing in the corner. And then the next rocks were their attempts. Like 1, 2, 3, and then 4 by the tree line. Also, it's unintentional, cool picture of the ocean. Unintentional. Alright, let's get this photo back to normal size. Yeah! That was the Wright Brothers thing. I liked it a lot. I actually didn't know we were by this until we drove past it on our way to the house. And I'm just like, oh, I gotta check that out. I have to. And so that was pretty much what I did the last day, and then it was just spent packing to like day 6. Like, so we got up like early again. Not as early as getting to there, but still early enough to where I was dead tired. But I did get a better picture of the sunrise. So it worked out. Love modern United States architecture. You get motion photos. Confirmed a flightless bird. I'm working on it. In case you can't tell, I just have flabby arms. They aren't quite feathered. I can't quite take off yet. I could roll like a motherfucker, though. I'll tell you what. Oh, man. So I did get this good photo of the sunrise. And then, yeah, pretty much after that photo was us packing up and heading back to New York. To where it was wet. Because, of course, the last flight to get to New York was pretty turbulent. Firo the Hedgehog. Sonic is on the rage nowadays. I would really like to play the Genesis Sonic games. They do look like fun. I will play the 2D Sonics, at least. I don't know about the 3D ones. They might be a bit too jank. Anyway, I guess on the topic of birds, I did take pictures of some birds. Okay, so when I was down there, I learned that the seagulls are different. So I have a normal picture of a seagull. I feel like all of us have seen this type of seagull. I think this was a female one. You can tell by how there's more brown and gray in their plumage and blah blah blah. As long as it's in Sonic 06. I keep seeing video I've recommended of like a modded version of 06 that fixes stuff, allegedly. The humble flying rat. Yes, there's that seagull. And it was actually when we first went to Jolly Roger where there were a bunch of seagulls. But they all sounded like they had a higher pitch. I'm like, wait, that's a different type of seagull, like annoying, like And turns out I was right. It was these seagulls. It's like a black-headed seagull. They look pretty cool, if you ask me. I'm surprised I was able to get this close to a seagull. But I think seagulls are more conditioned to be around people than other types of birds. Whoa, yeah! It was a different seagull. Did not know there were other types. I thought it was just the same white flying rat. Speaking of not white flying rats, but another weird bird. I don't know what type of bird this is, but it had a really skinny beak. And all this dude would do is like be on the wet part of the beachfront, and it would just stick its long beak into the sand to grab stuff. This thing did not like me. I'd say shortly after this photo, I tried to get like a foot closer and it took off. Bird fan finds out that birds are regional species. Okay. I know there are subspecies of bird. I guess I just didn't think going from New York to North Carolina I would already come across a subspecies. My bad. Also when I was down there was a lot of pelicans. I could not get a good photo of a pelican. They're either too far away or they move too fast and they're too high up. As far as I know, I don't think pelicans land. All the pelicans I saw were airborne. Not one of them landed. That and pigeons are pretty chill. Funny you mentioned that. When I went on a beach walk, I did get a picture of a pigeon. I think the dude was just... It wasn't walking up to me, but it was just kind of walking like in my general area, and it did not seem bothered. The pelicans get crazier the further down you go. Living near the equator is crazy, so since I show up super far from the beach. I mean, yeah, you probably... I think species get more varied like the warmer the climate is. I think that's the thing, too. I could be totally wrong, though. As we had that pigeon. Yeah, so going back to the skinny beak thing, and then later, I was taking a beach walk, like, during the night. And there was more of the birds with the long beaks. Except they were all, like, babies. So they didn't fear me yet. So I was actually able to get pretty close to this whole group. But then the mom saw me, and he just kind of barked at his kids to fly over to him. Yeah, birds bark. You heard it from me, professional bird expert and bird fellow enjoyer, me. Also, when I was on that Jeanette Pier, I came across this guy. It was just a black bird with a yellow eye. And I'm just like, damn, I have no idea what you are, because you are neither a crow or a raven, but you look really cool. And it was perched up to a sink on the pier, because on that pier, there actually were, like, boards, like, every few, like, feet. And it was so if people caught a fish on the pier, they could just fillet it right there. And where this bird was a station with a sink that actually had instructions on how to fillet a fish. So if you get lucky, you too could get a free lunch. You just need to pay like what, $5 or $7 to get onto the pier, but at least it lasts a week. So it's not a terrible deal. Actually, no, it was like $5 for a day, and then for a week I think it was like more. I just remember the annual pass for it was like $300. That's a lot of money to walk out at a pier, if you ask me. Hey, what do I know though? It's just a pier. And then taking a photo, I found a picture. I found a group of ducks. It was a lot of fucking ducks. And also, this was like around the area where the water was really green, so I'm like, oh shit, that's nice. Me walking onto a pier for free because it's a pier. Yeah, there was no free piers everywhere. I think they're aware that it's a bit of a tourist destination, so he's like, ooh, you want to get on this pier that goes out a pretty decent way into the ocean? That's a few dollars. Even the one where I took photos underneath, which was this one, it was like $3 a person. And this was like a smaller pier. Hey, but if you really want to get on there, you can cough it up. And I figured the best place to end off this whole journey of me enjoying vacation is not that sunrise I got, but of course, a shameless plug in the sand. Yup. The day I went to go take pictures of this pier, I just wrote this in the sand and fucked off. Did I gain anything from this? No. Did it make for a funny picture? Yes. Is this a little sad? Probably. The bag is gone. Yup. Found me a piece of driftwood and shameless plugged. Yes, sir. So yeah, that was my Outer Banks experience. It was definitely needed. Because you need those Texas piers. Maybe I do. But yeah, this vacation wasn't just nice. It was needed and overdue. Because my last proper out-of-state vacation where I could just get away from everything was when I went to Virginia Beach like almost 12 years ago. And then in the time between that, I was going to college, I was working, I was doing internships, I was trying to find a job in my goddamn degree, to the point where I could build up PTO for said job and can enjoy life while still getting a bag. This was good. And as a matter of fact, I think I should go on more vacations. Now that I finally had one as an adult, I could use more of these. Because honestly, the best vacation of all is doing nothing. Doing absolutely nothing. It's just like from Office Space, where, you know, like paying to do nothing, or I forget there's a quote for that. Also, Office Space, another great film. It's up there with Ferris Bueller. Actually, I like it more than Ferris Bueller. It's more cynical and funny, in my opinion. Want to go on a cruise at some point? I've been told that was fun. I'm a little hesitant on cruises still, because it's just like, okay, after you get done doing everything on a cruise, what are you gonna do? Leave the boat? Kinda can't in open water. So, shout out to the most stressful Mario Party music ever while talking about vacations. What do you mean this stressful? It's just Yoshi's Tropical Island. It's a classic. What do you mean? This part gets real. Oh yeah, especially with the star swapping from like end to end. That's why it's a goated map though. That's why it's in Mario Party Superstars. Goated map. The Tropical Island is a war zone with the right people. Goddamn right. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, cruises. I will say, so my sister and her husband, for their honeymoon, they did go on like a cruise in Europe. And on top of all the stuff they can do there, what that cruise did is that it made frequent stops at like certain docks for people to get off on, like explore like the local stuff there. So I think if you want to get onto a cruise, you got to try one of those ones, just to break up the fact that you're not always on the water. So if you ever wanted to go on a cruise, Ben, that's probably your best bet. At least that's the type of cruise I would go on. If it was just a cruise where you're on the water 24/7, I think I would lose my fucking mind. I would be getting what is it? What's like, there's like a condition where you just go crazy for being on the water, like ocean water, because you keep drinking it. I would be that without drinking the ocean water. Top 5 board of all time though. Yeah, the 64 Mario parties have always had like great boards. It's not to say the new ones haven't had good boards, but if we're talking about like the flow, bullshittery, and like just kind of being iconic, it's definitely those ones. Although I heard Jamboree's really good, but I haven't played it because I don't have friends. Fuck. Feels bad. But yeah. That was my vacation. It was great. I'd love to go on another one. Fuck, I would be fine if we went back to the Outer Banks, to be honest. There's still some shit I haven't done there yet. Ah, salt poisoning, my favorite. If we took that without the salt, watch me. I'll get salt poisoning through airborne salt. I'll huff that shit. So, yeah. Yeah. So I think that's getting naturally salty like David. You mean salty chestnuts. Yes. It's in the name. I don't know who this bird is, but they're huffing a fat air, so that's all that matters. They're getting high on the bath salts. Okay. So, I think I'll definitely do it for me on the street. It's just a quick one. I wanted to do it yesterday, but there were some things I wanted to get caught up on. My bad. But I will be back to, you know, streaming, of course. There is definitely some slop rail to consume. I heard it keeps getting worse. Feels good. Can't wait to play that tomorrow. And then Saturday's going to be up in the air. I have to help babysit, so if I'm going to start, it's going to be later. And depending how later will depend on what I stream. Or I'll just not stream at all. It all depends. But yeah. I'd like to thank all of you for watching it. If you know, if you're ever feeling stressed or you think that you're fine, but you think that you're fine, don't need a vacation, you probably need one. I thought it was fine not going on a vacation for the rest of my life until I went to the Outer Banks. I'm like, fuck, I needed that. Honker Slop Rail, yes sir. Second half of Slop Rail story was for this guy was surprisingly good. That's gonna take me, well, for you it probably took you like 3 hours. For me it's gonna take like 6. And I don't think I'm gonna get to that point tomorrow. I know how I am. Yeah. I also bet if you want to try typing in Twitch again, I think you're good. I did lower some of the I lowered some of the security for that to where if you followed for long enough, you don't need like a verified like phone number or email, maybe both. Anyway. About 5 instead of 7.5. Shorter than usual. I don't know if I believe that because I kept seeing a video where it was like, hey, the whole story, it was like 8 hours. I'm like, oh fuck. Not this shit. Anyway, I mean, it's a patch filled with slamming seals, some budgeting stuff, and a spending event, which is depressing. Olympus can't come soon enough. Anyway. Besides letting me probably doesn't follow you before you... I mean, you can still try. Oh, it still isn't letting you? Aw. That's a shame. Still isn't letting me, probably because I followed before you changed it. Oh, really? That's odd. That's weird how that works. Of course, now to get distracted from failure from writing a progression steam for pretty short. I mean, for me, pretty sure it's like pretty short. It's like 2 hours. So it would be like what was it? Like the 2.7 or 2.8 patch. I consider that short. Those are certain enough though. Oh, okay. Knocks us out top 5 character in mind, but will not farm win sets. Sorry. I mean, you can. I don't know how to. I'm not pulling for Castros or Noxa. I'd say the next character I might pull for is Cypher, but if she has a global passive, I'm gonna have to skip on that one because ooh. Catch the stream, gonna go play some Monster Hunter with the fellas. Hey, enjoy your monster hunting, and I will enjoy I don't know, sleeping. I've been working overtime this week, so I've been waking up earlier. So I've been going into work earlier and leaving later, which has been not great. The bar shore is so deep into the dirt. 5 feels. It's so bad. It's so fucking bad. You did a single 10 pull as a joke, and I got Miss Global Passive. I thought you wanted to get her anyway, though. You gotta get that bag. Yeah, it's also because work is busy. So it's like, hey, they say, hey, we appreciate overtime, but it's also just like, hey, it's kind of mandatory. We gotta reach deadlines. But Cypher does indeed have no global. Okay. I still know she ain't gonna do shit for Dot, but I just kind of saw one of her animations where she, like, kicked a coin into somebody's face. I'm like, that's kind of cool. But beyond that, I'm just like, eh. Yes, everyone like I have morals. Don't be a fake bitch in this fake world. Be a real motherfucker, goddammit. Just don't say you do this shit for clout and you mean well. Just say it with your chest. She is likely better for Akron than Foxboy, so you might be winning. Okay, now I'm a little interested because the set I've been... It's funny that you mentioned that because the set I've been farming is the one for Akron. It's the debuff set, I think. I'm farming that one because I'm also trying to farm a better set for Ranmei too. It all just kind of worked out. There you go. You picked your dead wife. Congratulations. Your deadpan purple wife. But yeah, that was my vacation. Real fun. Can't wait to wait another 12 years to go to another one. I'll be 40 by that point. I'm gonna be the fucking skeleton. But yeah, I'd like to thank you all for watching this live, or if you're seeing this through VOD, your viewership is always appreciated. If you want to see more from me, be sure to check me out on YouTube, Twitter, Blue Sky when it's not down. Because I think it's down today. Is it still down? Oh, it's back. Or Twitch. I'll let Firo McNosky. Well, all that being said, have a good morning, day, evening, or night. Be to each other and be to yourselves. Peace out. Bye, YouTube. Also, one more thing. For some reason, when I saw OBX, I kept thinking it was the Orville brothers. I was on vacation. Leave me alone.